the 5 gifts that each and every one of us have been born with. And the first gift that you and I have is the inquisitive mind. The letter A stands for ask. And every single child that is born begins their life by asking, by searching, by looking. They will pick things up and they will bang them on the floor, they will bite them, and they'll be asking one question. It's a one-word question, and that question is, why? It seems that we are desperate to find that answer, but also it seems that it is the key to unlocking the deepest desire of our heart. So every child on the planet begins life by asking that one question. Now, there's another question that gets introduced at a later stage. This question is drummed into us in such a way that we begin to forget the question that we were born to ask, and we begin to evaluate every single thing in life with the second question, which is not the question that you're supposed to be living your life by. And that is the question, how? So as an adult, if I'm talking to you and I share a big vision or idea or dream, or even you catch one for yourself, the question that you begin to ask is, but how? And immediately you want to go into the mechanics of how something is to be achieved when you were born never to ask that question. And so the question how results very often in doubt. And doubt is the cancer for faith. The question why can only function when you step in faith. So if you ask the how question, you eliminate the faith which is necessary to implement that which you were born to implement. So today, remember, you have been gifted with the ability to ask. The question is, why? The second gift that you have is the ability to explore. You know, I'll never forget when our daughter came along. She was our firstborn, and you know what's nice about the firstborn, especially being a girl, there had been no other girls in the family before. And so she got everything new, you know, that new baby blanket. And when she got to the point of being able to crawl, we had this lovely baby blanket we put on the floor in the lounge. You know, we'd move all the other stuff out the way, put our baby blanket down, put those nice toys on the blanket, and then go and pick up our daughter and go and impress her with these wonderful gifts that we had bought. Put her on the blanket, and you know, she wasn't interested in the gifts. All she wanted to do was to get off the blanket. You know, in a very short space of time, she would be able to find the door in any room that you put her in. There seemed to be something inside her that was driving her to go beyond the comfort zone. So we began to condition her to stay within the comfort zone. So if she went off the blanket, we'd pick her up and put her back on the blanket. If she went out the door, we would lock the door. And there would be some other administration if she didn't obey. To the point that where you and I are now adults, we've been so conditioned to stay inside the comfort zone that we can never discover the purpose for which God created us. Because the purpose for which God created you lies beyond the comfort zone, because you are supposed to create order out of chaos. And you can only do that if you step into the place of chaos. Yet right now, any place that is chaotic, you and I are avoiding. So we are born to explore. It's a free gift that not some people have, but everybody has. Another great gift that you and I have been given is the ability to imagine. Imagination is a very, very powerful thing. In fact, imagination is designed to bring that which is invisible, that which does not yet exist, that which is unseen, into the scene. So, imagination by its very nature is designed to dream about the impossible. So if there's anything that you see that looks like it is impossible, by the way, impossible things are just things that don't yet exist. That's all it is. If you are operating and determining what's possible and what's not possible, you're not connecting with the things that God has created you to do. It's about that which does not yet exist. So if it's impossible, you're using your imagination. Every child on the planet that I have met has the ability to imagine. Adults also have the ability to imagine. But somehow, during our 12 years of schooling, or our 16 years of education, or our life of experience to this point, has caused us to close the tap on that imagination. Because every time you ask the question how, another measure of doubt has been added to your life, and the tap is cracked a little bit more closed. I shouldn't say turned a bit more closed, isn't it? And we turn it closed, tight, more and more tight. Is your tap perhaps completely closed? I hope that this morning is going to unlock it. There's another letter, and that is an amazing ability that we have. You can go to different parts of the world today, find people that have been through catastrophic situations, yet they have overcome. We have the ability to bounce back. It's a strange thing. A person can be down and out for a week, for a month, for a year, for 10 years, for 15 years. But somehow they are able to bounce back. When I was observing your arrival this morning, I noticed that you all walked in. There was nobody that came on their fours crawling in through the door. So in other words, there was a point in your life that you overcame the falling in order to learn to walk. Now what's interesting is, during that time that we learn to walk, we are unable to understand the people who can speak. Have you noticed that? You only learn to talk and understand after you've learned to walk. Because learning to walk is one of the most complex things that a person can do. And if you are able to hear the negativity that comes your way when you're trying to accomplish this great goal, you probably will remain a sitter or a crawler for the rest of your life. Because mom and dad are constantly warning you about all the dangers. Be careful, they're standing behind you, kind of guiding you just in case their precious little daughter or son is going to fall and hurt themselves. And yes, that happens. And your child may have a cut on their eye. They may graze their knees. But you know something? They have one thing absolutely clear to them, and that is their vision. Because they want to walk just like mom and dad. And that drives them on. So you and I can face life because we have all overcome. We have all learned to walk in exactly the same way. How did we learn to walk? We simply got up one more time than we fell. And so when life knocks you down or throws you something, you should get excited because it's just another opportunity to show your overcoming ability. It's a natural gift that everybody has. And then lastly, you are unique. You are a one of a kind. Nobody has your good looks. I'm sure when you stand in front of the mirror, you don't look to see if there's anyone else in the picture because you don't like the one that you see. I don't know, you know, when we take photographs, we can have an incredibly good photograph, But what's amazing is when you look at it, the only person you're interested in is you. You're not interested in everyone else. If everyone else if your eyes are closed, then the photograph is terrible. Doesn't matter if there's 30 other people that look great, because we are interested in ourselves. And you are a one of a kind. You know that they have cameras these days that can recognize you. Some of you may have used facial recognition with your mobile device. How is that? It's because you are that unique. Your fingerprints are yours and yours alone. Your DNA is yours and yours alone. The number of hairs on your head are probably yours and yours alone. The retina at the back of your eye is yours and yours alone. The way you walk is yours and yours alone. There are so many things that are unique about you. Why can't the reason you came to this world also be unique? Why should you be choosing a career off a list that other people have done before? Why should you be doing what everyone else does? There's something wrong with that picture. If you are that unique, why is it that you're desperate to die a copy? You're born an original, die an original. That's what is talking to us constantly in our heart. It's saying, don't conform. Don't become like everyone else. Be who I created you to be. Unique, a one of a kind. So as we continue with our countdown, I hope that our first count, the 5 gifts, are going to enable you to remember a new alphabet. You cannot put a word together. The words create life. You cannot put a word together except for him and one other word. What is the other word? The word him in church doesn't have a vowel, and there's one other word, I forget what it is right now. Otherwise, every other word has a vowel in it. Now you have a new meaning for the 5 letters that are so important to life.